The service industry is still struggling, though. Some metro restaurants have had to cut back hours or close on slow days because they can't stay fully staffed. Our Caitlin Ross spoke to one chef who says the industry will have to shift to accommodate employees who want more out of their jobs.
Exactly, Jennifer. Chef Mimo says the restaurant industry has changed. He used to work 15-hour shifts in a hot kitchen when he first started out, but now that he owns his own restaurant, he treats his employees like family. Chef Mimo, the owner of Botica in Buckhead, says the heat is on the restaurant industry.
More honest about everything we do, a better product all the time.
Now that people in Atlanta are dining out, restaurants across the metro are struggling to hire enough people to keep up with demand. The National Restaurant Association says job openings are at an all-time high, recording a record-breaking 1.2 million open positions. Despite thousands of restaurants looking for employees in Atlanta, Chef Mimo says it's a small business.
It's like you treat 5 people good, but guess what? They're gonna spread the word. It's word of mouth. Word of mouth.
They employ 70 people at Botica, and Mimo says they're still taking applications. The National Restaurant Association, though, says people are leaving the industry for higher-paying jobs with more flexibility or benefits. Mimo says restaurant owners have to pay attention to what workers are telling them.
The flexible schedule, the pay, of course, has to be there, but also the atmosphere.
Despite the struggle some restaurants are facing, Mimo says he's optimistic about the future of the industry.
I think we'll be fine. Everybody's gonna need a job. Everybody wants to go out and eat.
Mimo says communication is key, both with people who come into the restaurant and with his employees. The really cool way he's making that work, coming up at 6.